Now, at this point in the game, I can basically, fly around my spaceship on my homeworld, do a lot of different things. There are a lot of tutorials built into this, as well as there's a mission-driven structure. So anytime I can kind of contact my homeworld, and I can kind of ask them, for missions, ask them for tutorials. In this case, I'm going to kind of tell them that they actually want to expand a nearby planet. So we're going to do that. Now, at this point, I can leave my planet for the very first time and pull out to the space level. So this is my home planet there. This is my home solar system here. And I can kind of fly around and explore. This is a gas giant. We try to actually make these things as beautiful and kind of convey the beauty of space as much as possible. We're actually getting cool turbulence patterns on our gas giant here. I'm going to see if this sheet works here really quick. Maybe not. I might do this out too. So let's go over here. They actually want me on my mission to go over and investigate this planet. They're pulling here. Actually, I can't show them, so I might go to a different save game. I can show you a little bit more. Now, we have scanners. A lot of things you'll discover on planets. They can be rares, it can be other technologies. In this case, they sent us to investigate this wreck here. We use this little scanner to kind of locate what we're looking for here and actually scan it. Oh, actually, I'm on the So this was some alien spacecraft that we discovered on this planet. Apparently they were missing in time. And, oh good, we did a lot. So we can go out. Now at this point I'm going to start ignoring the mission structure and just kind of browsing. Now as we pull away from our home star here, we see that we're surrounded by lots and lots of other stars. Each one of these stars is a unique world. I can fly to any one of these stars right now, and every single planet that I encounter will be unique around these, and the solar systems as well. Occasionally I'll see a beacon like this, which means that there's something my scanners are picking up. A lot of times I'll come into one of these worlds and I'll want to actually terraform them and develop a colony there. We have a little asteroid belt next to this planet. This is a Tier 1, which means that it's just kind of marginally inhabitable for life in colonies. So I can come down here and actually establish a colony, find a good spot. This has a lot of spice, so eventually I can earn a lot of income if I build a large colony here. So I'm going to use my colony tool to initiate a new colony. The level of things, our self-deploying colony. Now, if I increase the T-score of this planet over time, I can actually increase the population and the earnings of this planet. Now, depending on where I build the planet, I might also have issues with things like aliens attacking, pirates. I might have environmental disasters, if I build it too close or too far away from the sun. I might have morale issues. And eventually we have technologies that will allow you to kind of overcome most of these things. For instance, if I'm having happiness problems on my colony because I pick a horrible place, I can put down a happiness booster, and this will actually increase the morale of the people on my planet. So if I'm being attacked a lot, I can put down my ultimate kind of uber planetary defense, and it will launch this kind of super SDI satellite that will now go out and automatically defend my planet against any attackers. I also, at some point, go out and I start meeting interesting aliens. I can have very adversarial relationships. I can also end up having alliances and building alliances. As I build alliances with aliens, they'll actually join my fleet, and they'll mimic everything my starship does. And so I can end up with a whole fleet of these aliens kind of following around here. We have a very large galaxy here. This is my jump radius, how far I can jump in one thing. Now I have a SETI beam, so the things that I'm getting returns from right now, these radio returns are actually other civilizations that I can fly to. If I fly to one of these stars, I'll actually encounter another spacefaring civilization. And until I meet them, I don't know kind of what their orientation is. They might be very militaristic. They might be, this is their spaceship there. This is all coming from some other players, something that some other players made. The creature, the spaceship, whole civilization. I'm going to say I come in peace and be nice. And I can tell by the relationship right now that they're pretty happy, so I could probably start a trade relation with these guys. I can go in diplomatically and say, let's try a trade route. And so they're down with that. I can also trade with them. So I can open this, and they have certain things that they will sell me. I can also ask for missions. And depending on what kind of civilization it is, they might want me to go attack somebody, they might want me to bootstrap a biosphere if they're ecologically minded, etc. And I could also, if I want to, just try to conquer their world and take them over. These guys are probably not suspecting this right now because they're just up there trading on. So you can do a lot of weird underhanded things. So this is actually their colony. It's not a home world. So their homeworld is going to be rather upset, but I'm going to do it anyway. At some point we get some pretty powerful, well, this is the Planet Buster, this is the Uber bomb. That normally would take me a while, I cheated, so I got this. Yeah, they're at the very last second trying to talk me out of it, but it's a little late now. I've already watched it. We have badges and achievement systems at the space station here that are tracking the player. And not only did I blow up their planet, but I blew up the moon orbiting it as well. And it's interesting because, in fact, the rim of the planet will now continue orbiting the star and form an asteroid belt. So I'll come back later, I'll see a nice little asteroid belt where the planet used to be. As you can see, it's still kind of slowly decomposing itself. Now, this area that we're kind of playing in here, now, okay, there's our home world. Now we see these red spheres. That's possible space now. It means that was actually a fairly expensive empire that I just attacked. And now, within this space, they're going to come out and kind of start attacking me. So now we start seeing ships that will, anywhere in this space, will come out and start blasting at me. And I'm going to get away from it really fast because I don't have much of my health upgrade. Now, what you're seeing here is actually a very, very small part of the playing field. Now, this represents several hundred stars, perhaps 1,000 planets, but really, this is really one small little in fact, you have millions of unique worlds, so you can play this game for your entire life and never visit this whole thing. There are some fairly epic quests here, and there are also, if we can find, let's see if we can find a gamma ray burster around here somewhere. There are certain shortcuts that you can actually discover to navigate this a little more effectively. I'm going to see if we can find a black hole around here somewhere. Usually the best way, oddly enough, to look for a black hole is the gravitational lensing in here. We wanted, one of the things I really wanted in Spore was the players to get a sense of what a real galaxy is like, what it's made of. So these different star types that you're seeing here actually reflect, pretty similar distributions of things like, red dwarfs to blue giants. Even in terms of the mineral content that you might find around the planets around those stars are fairly driven by reality. We wanted to have a lot of the same things that you would see in the Hubble Space Telescope up here with fairly reasonable frequency in the game, so that you got the sense that you were exploring this toy galaxy, but we really want to convey how huge and massive the galaxy actually is, which to me is like one of the really interesting parts about space, is that like in astronomy, space is usually presented in the planetarium as a very two-dimensional thing, and you can see that little thing over there. Black holes tend to do this thing called gravitational lensing, which means that they distort the light around them. So if you see that little sphere there, it's actually distorting the light. And so that's a good way to find black holes here. At some point in my UFO, I actually get the power to traverse wormholes. And so I can use black holes as kind of a shortcut, like a subway system through my galaxy. So if I dive into this black hole here, at the event horizon, you get this kind of huge radiation thing. It's a matter of calling it a black hole. So as we pop into the black hole, we'll actually enter the wormhole. And now we've popped out the other side. And now we're probably in a very different region of galactic space. Now over time we can kind of map these and build like a transit map. So let's see, where's our home world? Oh, yeah, see our home world is way over there inside the galaxy. Now I have to be careful not to lose this black hole. If I were to fly away and not be able to find it, it would take me hours and hours and hours. I mean, it'd be really hard to get back to my home world. But anyway, we also wanted players to go in and not just be able to play with the toy galaxy, but be able to kind of interact with the toy planet. So a good bit of this game is about learning to create successful colonies. And part of doing that is you're managing the atmosphere, the geosphere, and the biosphere of these planets. Most of the planets, this one has a very simple little food web. One of the displays I can switch to actually shows the genetic or biological diversity on this planet. It has 3 species of plants and just 1 herbivore. We can see the planet is pretty much very low atmosphere, and we have terraforming tools where I can go in and I can impact the atmosphere. So I can use some tools, let's say you can dump a volcano, which will outgas, and as it outgasses, it will increase the atmospheric density, but also warm up the planet a little bit. This little dot on the circle down here, the very middle of that, the bullseye,